We thought it was a fresh start, a quiet haven away from the city's relentless hum. This old house, with its sprawling rooms and forgotten corners, promised peace. We unpacked boxes, filled the empty spaces with laughter, and dreamed of a future within its sturdy walls. A subtle chill, however, seemed to cling to the air even on the warmest days. It was a feeling we initially dismissed, attributing it to the house's age. We were eager to believe in its charm, to overlook any lingering shadows. Then came the whispers. At first, they were barely perceptible, like the rustling of old leaves or the settling of ancient timbers. We'd pause, listen intently, and then convince ourselves it was merely the wind playing tricks. But the murmurs grew, coalescing into something more distinct, more unsettling. It was a low, guttural sound, a voice that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of the house itself. It spoke in a language we couldn't quite grasp, yet its tone was undeniably one of profound sorrow. The voice became a constant companion, a spectral presence woven into the silence. It would rise and fall with an eerie rhythm, sometimes a desperate plea, sometimes a mournful sigh. We searched every crevice, tapped every wall, desperate to locate its source. Panic began to set in, a cold dread that tightened its grip with each passing day. The house, once a sanctuary, transformed into a labyrinth of unseen torment. We knew then that we were not alone within its confines. Our frantic search led us to forgotten archives, to dusty records of the house's grim history. We uncovered a tragedy, a dark event long buried beneath layers of time and neglect. A family, much like ours, had met a terrible fate within these very walls. The voice, we realized, was not a random haunting. It was a remnant, an echo of that past suffering. It was the lingering essence of someone desperate to be heard, to break free from the confines of their silent torment. The whispers sharpened, forming fragmented words, a chilling narrative of what had transpired. It was a warning, a desperate plea from beyond the veil. The voice was not merely recounting history, it was foretelling a continuation. It spoke of a cycle, of a darkness that lay dormant, waiting for new inhabitants. The house was not just haunted, it was a trap. The voice was trying to save us, to prevent us from becoming another tragic chapter in its unending story.